What's up, guys? B-Rob here, and welcome to this week's episode for the Hot Bod Summer Series. In this video, I am interviewing Lauren Burrows. Lauren will share a little bit about her fitness journey, her favorite exercise, workout, or body part, and why it's her favorite, her 3 tips that may help you in that exercise, workout, or body part that will make your summer even hotter. Lauren will also share with you her favorite pre-workout and protein, and then where you can find Lauren on the World Wide Web. I'll be right back with Lauren right after this. Lauren, thank you for joining me here today on this series, to be agreeing to be interviewed for the viewers here. So tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I was excited and nervous and all of the things, but so I have been in the fitness wellness industry for about 7 years, I guess 8, with like more of an internship type mentorship prior to getting my license. And it really started for me when I was young. I in high school was very athletic and just had a love for activity and sports, and had fallen into some health issues. So in the midst of that, nutrition became a huge component for me, and just really identifying with how food really facilitated health in my body and made me stronger. So kind of that was like the very beginning, I guess you can say. Then, you get older and we lose sight of some things when we first get married and we start to have kids. And by the time I had my 3rd child, I was like, okay, something was stirring kind of back inside of me that I needed to get back on track. We were super busy, youth pastors, just going 100 miles an hour with 3 kids of our own. And I knew I wasn't going to make it, like if I didn't start taking care of myself. So then, when I first had my first child, I went from 135 pounds to 200 pounds. And so that was the initial wake up call. And then obviously any moms out there will know, typically you don't lose all the baby weight after that first one. And then you just continue to have babies, and then you're looking at yourself one day trying to figure out, how you got there. So after my 3rd, I was like, okay, well, it's my time. Like I need to tote them along still, right? Because they're still pretty young, but I'm going to make time and make myself more of a priority. So started back in that direction, started just hitting the YMCA, was doing classes. And I think really, for myself and really the majority of people, classes are less intimidating. So I think a lot of people start there, and they do really well with them for the most part. But then those classes they only give you kind of like one side of things. Because in a class, it's a lot harder to coach people with heavy weights, and unless you're doing CrossFit or something that's really geared towards like a large class. But so I did spin and TRX for probably a year and a half, and did some HIIT in the mix of that, and was really just starting to feel really good about the direction I was heading. And didn't really go into that thinking I'm going to do this one day. Like I'm going to lead these people. I actually have a degree in photography, and I was doing that and being mom and helping my husband with student ministry. And so being a personal trainer and getting into the wellness industry was not really on the radar at that time. But the farther I went, the more I just started to think I could do this, and I want to do this. And I want to help people. I want people to succeed in their health and their fitness, and I want them to feel good about themselves. I want them to have confidence. And at the time, I guess the focus was moms, but because I was a mom and I still am a mom, but when you're kind of going through a season of your life, your focus and your people group is kind of those people, right? So that was kind of the focus at the time. And when my daughter was about 2, we wound up moving states, and we were living in Alabama, and then we moved to Texas. And when we moved to Texas is when I really started to kind of get more of a release, like this was something that I was going to dive more into and participate in. I still helped my husband, still raising my kids, but it was time for me to kind of do some searching on what I was going to do and how I was going to help people and what was going to satisfy me. Because, sometimes because I had a photography degree, I didn't really like work for anybody. I just worked for myself, and photography is great, but if you love to be creative, it's great. But when it came to like the business side of things, I was terrible. So I was like, let's just forget that. I don't want to charge people to take their picture. So I just struggled with that. So I connected with an amazing couple and gym in Texas. And actually, funny enough, you're B-Rob and they were J-Rob. Brian, his name is John Robinson and his wife's name is Jen Robinson. And they had an amazing thing going. They had a CrossFit gym along with personal training, and they really took me under their wing. And I really appreciate the investment that they made. Because they allowed me to really shadow them and learn from them for about a full year before I actually I was getting my license, like I was studying and doing all of that, but it probably took almost a full year before I actually got licensed. But for that whole year, I was participating in something to learn. So, so it started there in a deeper way. And then throughout the time, I've trained just all sorts of people from just elderly. I wound up training like a husband and wife who were like in their 90s, or no, sorry, late 80s, which was really just a sweet time. They were so sweet. The husband had Alzheimer's and the wife would just be alongside of him every step of the way. And that was a precious time to moms and teenagers and men. We would do small group training. So it would be like circuit training up to like 6 or 7 people, just kind of throwing those weights around and just grinding it out. So for 45 minutes or so. So I really loved that. And now I find myself at phase 3 fitness in Madison. I find myself coaching online with a partnership through Faster Way to Fat Loss. And then I also kind of do my own coaching on the side. I have like multiple avenues, just because I'm finding that everybody needs something different. Not everybody's the same. And I've kind of learned how to say, okay, well, these are the options, pick the option that's best for you. And I'm going to partner with you and coach you the best way that I know how within that modality. So right now I'm finding myself working with men and women, mostly probably from 30s to 50s, maybe some in their 60s, some actually very highly successful people, which has stirred my attention to them a little bit more. I enjoy working with the mom that is home, trying to get her life and her body back. And at the same time, I've been really dialed into lately the person who's really successful in their job, but their health has really suffered while they've climbed the ladder, or while they have spent so much time building their business, or just being successful in their job. So right now I'm trying to think through some of the best ways to help those people. But I do love what I do, and I just enjoy working with people. So I find the creativity that I had in photography still to be able to be creative in this, because you kind of have to, based on the person, change things up and be creative with what you're doing. So that part of me is still there. I think I still can be creative. And if I need to change things, then I've learned how to do that. But then just have fun. So it's been good.
And Lauren, what are you certified in?
Okay, so I'm certified as a personal trainer. I'm certified in fitness nutrition through NASM, and also a certified nutrition coach through NASM. So those 3 certifications: personal training, fitness, nutrition, and certified coach or nutrition coach, is all through National Academy of Sports Medicine. And then I'm a coach with Faster Way to Fat Loss, which is an online program that I partner with and take on people to coach them. But Faster Way does a lot of the supply for the nutrition and the workouts. So I kind of am I'm a coach. I'm a coach with them, I guess you can say. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So
Okay.
what's your favorite exercise, workout, or body part? Like what do you want to help the viewers with today?
Yeah, well, I would say I always look forward to leg day. I don't know. There's a lot of us I think out there that just really like working our legs. I just like I just like being sore. And sometimes I think that, after doing legs, you're like, some people are like, they probably don't want to not feel like they can't walk, but it always makes you feel like, oh, I've really worked and I've done something. But no, I just always seem to get the best workout when I work legs. Deadlifts are probably my favorite. I can't say that I'm super, super strong with my deadlifts. Still working on that, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the move. I don't have any back issues, and I think in some ways, deadlifts and squats have probably contributed to helping with that because of all those muscles supporting that lower back region. So, you start out light. You start out with dumbbells, you graduate to the hex bar for deadlifts, and then a straight bar. I think I've done all of those, and they each contribute a little bit differently. And that's probably one of my favorites. But yeah, so leg day would probably be my favorite.
Awesome. And what 3 tips do you want to share with the viewers that would help them in that exercise that would make their summer even hotter?
In the deadlift exercise or just legs in general?
Whichever one you choose.
Um, I definitely would start with where you're at, be consistent, start out light, make sure your form is definitely in check, because you can hurt your back. Just because I don't have any back issues doesn't mean that it's that way for everybody. So I would say definitely start slow, partner up with somebody, because if you're doing something that is wrong, then hopefully having somebody close by, definitely if it can be somebody who knows what they're doing, that's definitely a benefit. And you can start out just with dumbbells. Start out doing dumbbells. You can do them together with like a deadlift, or you can do single leg deadlifts, which is actually, I would start with body weight with that. There's really good benefits to doing things in a 2-plane and then also in a single plane. That single plane really engages our core, creates more stability, and helps us with that balance, having to really, even like our central nervous system, right? Like everything's firing all at once. So I go back and forth with single leg stuff and a double plane type deadlift or squat. So, but yeah, partnering up with somebody and then being consistent. Consistency is just huge. So don't get frustrated if you don't get it right the first time. Don't overdo it. Like, you don't have to do 20 reps and then hurt yourself, right? But take your time through that and be consistent.
Awesome. I love those. So what is your favorite, if you have one, pre-workout?
Okay, so pre-workout, I do a lot of intermittent fasting. So I've also struggled with some digestive things. So intermittent fasting helps me a lot. And there's some studies shown to when you work out in an intermittent fast, that your inflammatory response to food is less. So for me, the most times, most workouts, I don't do pre-workout. But if I am going to do a pre-workout, and I have done it in the past, I typically tend to pull on fruit. It's a simple sugar. It goes really quick through to get you the energy that you need in a pretty quick way. And so one of my favorites is pineapple. I don't know if it's the Florida girl in me, because I did grow up in Florida, but pineapple, I just love the flavor. And I would say that all different types of fruit contribute different things. They contribute different nutrients and vitamins and minerals. But one of the things that pineapple contributes is bromelain.
Oh, bromelain, yes.
Bromelain. So it has those properties, the bromelain in it. It can aid in the workout prior to the workout, but it can also aid in recovery. It helps with your gut inflammation. It can help break down inflamed tissue, and it helps prevent damage post exercise. So those are just some benefits of pineapple itself. But I would say that if I'm going to pick one, then pineapple is probably going to be the one that I'm going to go for. But you could do banana, you could do apples, you could do oranges. They all have benefits to them. But it's more about that quick energy. So prior to a workout, within that 30-minute window prior to starting is when you're probably going to want to have your pre-workout the most. And then after workout doing, you can have the fruit again, but pairing it with protein.
Yeah. Awesome. So much knowledge. Yeah. What's your favorite protein supplement?
Okay, so I'm pretty particular and picky because I don't want gluten, I don't want whey, I don't want dairy, which whey would be, and soy. So there's so many on the market that are plant-based that are good, but it's finding the one that's not chalky, the one that doesn't taste bad, right? Everybody has their complaint to some degree. So the company that I partner with, Faster Way to Fat Loss, has just developed their own. And they actually have one that I've dialed into that's been really good. It's a hydro beef protein. So it's not whey based, it's not soy based, it's not pea protein. They have a pea protein based one as well. They have a plant based one and they have collagen. But the hydro beef one is where I'm sitting right now. It's not chalky. It doesn't have a really strong flavor. So if you mix it with like overnight oats or in a smoothie, it's not like overpowering. You can actually taste the other things that you're mixing it with. So I'm really into that one right now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And where can those who are watching right now, where can they find you?
Okay. So my website is laurenburrows.fit. So they can find me there. I'm on Instagram at Lauren Burrows and Facebook, same thing at Lauren Burrows, or just put me in the search bar.
Awesome. I'll make sure that your contact information is in the video description for those who are watching. And also, I think you have an email list too that people can sign up for to get some good tips from you. Is that true?
Yeah. So if they go to the website, they can subscribe, and I do a weekly newsletter every Friday. Try to get it out first thing in the morning, but sometimes it's around noon. But yeah, I just kind of share like some of the things that have come across my emails or desk, or things that people are maybe asking that I'm talking about lately, doing some research, just getting some information out, because people need information as far as like what's concerning them, right? And not everybody has time to do that research. So I've kind of just taken it on as a coach for my own clients, but other people that I've asked, and have tried to gather the information in a nugget type form to give it to them. So I do include like a nugget of information and then a couple of recipes for the week. And then when I am starting rounds for Faster Way, so Faster Way to Fat Loss runs in like a 6-week round, and then you can continue on. But when I am starting a round, it's through that email as well, so you can sign up there. So it's pretty informative, and people have responded with questions or whatnot. So like you can reply to those emails, and I'll reply back. So yeah.
Very cool. So much good information. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer these 6 questions.
Thanks for having me.
So guys, what did you think about that interview with Lauren? Pretty cool, right? So make sure that you check the description for the links below to how you can get to Lauren and some of the supplements that she named. Also, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is B-Rob.